What is up, you beautiful engineers, and welcome to episode 7. I am back from my work trip, but while I was gone, we've hit 1,000 subs. Thank you very much. You guys are awesome. And there is still so much room for improvement. Like I'm cooking. I'm trying to get this recipe for quality content, and I'm just having a lot of fun, to be honest. So anyway, let's get into it. Enjoy, guys. At the end of the last episode, I was working on the facade here, and I ran out of time, but I did some work off camera, mostly the whole building on the right and the crane on the left. The whole idea behind this facade here, which is a really well-known concept in video games, is to make the whole thing look bigger than it actually is, right? Fake rooms, fake building, fake facade, fake doors, right? Doors with nothing behind them, like these ones. It's just to make the whole thing looks bigger than it actually is. And it works. It works very well. Now, this crane here is also purely aesthetic. There's no real practical use to it. It is on rotor, and we have a hinge at the top of the rope up there. Whoops. There. Also with a rotor and a bank plate at the bottom. So I'll have to find something to stick to it at some point. And I do plan on having maybe some sensors around. Then when you pass by, the crane does some sort of movement just to make the whole space feel more alive. And on this side, we have pretty much the only thing with a practical purpose out of this whole facade. And that is the landing pad at the top and this garage here, the naval garage. Naval is Latin for shipyard. There is no interior for now. This is mostly voxel, but eventually I want this space to be for fighter ship, and we'll have some sort of medical room nearby so we can respawn, get inside of a ship really quickly, and just run out. So that is the plan for that. But anyways, pretty cool. So let's get to today's project. All right. So before we can actually start, doing some cool project down here, we need a way in and out. And I trashed the whole idea of building a ramp. I think the ramp would be way too long, and I'm not interested in that anymore. I want to build an elevator, which I've never done before. So this is quite an exciting project for me. Now, the particular thing that I want with this elevator is I want the bottom platform to be around here. So on the inside of our circle, and on top here, I want the platform to be on the outside of the circle. So I tried mini design. I did a little 1x1 replica of our actual setup over here. So this would be our ground level. Then we have our 21 tall block wall. And this would be our top level, right? And this is the design that I came up with. I did try many different designs, but I did this one. I was like, you know what? I think I can make something really cool out of this. It's a very simple design. I'm sure you can already tell what it's going to look like. Super not realistic. It looks super weak as it is right now. And that's going to be kind of the whole challenge, to make it look like this is durable. It is realistic. And I think I can do that. And honestly, right now, I don't even know where to start. So let me figure that out, and I'll be right back. And if you wonder how this works, it's 2 rotors. They both have the same limit. So let's say 0 to 230. They both have the same velocity. But one of them is reverse. So it's that simple. They basically cancel each other. All right, I think the first step should be to figure out how big of a platform do I need. And I think probably the biggest thing I'm going to put on it is going to be the dog with the rhino. The dog is out of battery, but I should still be able to figure out kind of how much space do I need to make it fit. Okay, yeah, that for sure that's going to fit on it. So this is 15 blocks long. I'm pretty happy with that. And my estimate for the width was 9 blocks. 9 by 15. Yeah, and 9 by 15. 10, 11, maybe. Yeah, maybe 11. But on my little demo over here, on my replica, and at 9 block long, with my rotor at this height, the 9 block was flush with the front of the wall. It wouldn't really matter if it was sticking out just 2 more blocks. Like, we could still do something pretty cool with this. Like, I wouldn't mind that. Yeah. All right, so it's gonna be 11 by 15. Okay, so now the next step should be to mark my 11 by 15 below and on top. So let's do that. All right, so I got my 2 platform marked. So the inside of those are the actual 15 by 11. Now the top one won't really be there. It will probably be more to the left because we extended the platform from 9 to 11. Maybe I should lower this rotor by 1 block. If I put this rotor down here, it should push this platform back a little. Yeah, I think I'm gonna do that. Okay, so this is the location of the first rotor mount. We need to go 12 high from the ground. So, and I think I counted this one in my 21. Let me see, 15, 20, 21. Yeah, kind of. Yeah, I think I did. Yeah. But wait. That changed everything if I do that. 21, this is partially in the ground. Okay, let's say this is the ground level. 8, 9, 10, 11. We're now 11 from the ground. Okay. Whew. 8, 9, 10, 11. So, rotor. Always double check your mat. And this goes all the way down to below where the platform would be. All right. 13 long from up here. One more rotor over here and one more rotor over here. And these should technically be our platform. So these should be attached together at some point. 0.32. And then I should be able, technically, in theory, put a rotor head here. That seems like very tight. Yeah. I'm not too sure when you have like 2 sets of rotor. Maybe I need to fix these 2 together first, right? Yeah, that seems a lot more reasonable. What? What happened? Okay, yeah, okay, that was the arm. That was okay. Okay. All right. Okay. So now 13 from the top. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 0.32. And I need to remove all of these. Oh my god. Where is it gonna blow up this time? Ooh, okay. So now technically I should be able to remove this one here. I just wonder, do I need to remove it, or is it fine if it stay there? I'm just kind of curious to see, to be honest, to just disconnect it to see what's gonna happen. But maybe first let me lock this one. Be actually like, let's lock all of those to be safe. It is locked. We are good. All right, small mistake. I just need to raise my whole gantry by a few blocks. So basically what I did is I lowered my rotor by 1 block, thinking that that would push my platform further back, but that does the opposite. Because lowering the rotor by 1 shortened the arm, right? And how far the platform goes is determined by the length of this arm. So the longer this arm is, the further we're gonna go back once we do a full loop, right? So yeah, so that's my bad. I need to raise it at least by 1. I mean by 2, because mine is right there at this moment. Yeah, so you know what? Shit happens. I was just about to queue up a time lapse because the next step is to remove some of the voxel. We need to clear a big chunk of land in the back here to give room for this arm. Actually, this arm right here, if we do the full loop, you can see that this arm goes into the voxel, right? So if this is our surface above and this is our back wall, we need to clear all that land. So let's queue up a time lapse and see how it goes. Alright guys, so the mechanism is done. It does stick out a lot. It works well. Minor changes is these 2 arms on each side, they need to be on the same grid. That's pretty much the only change I did. But other than that, it does work pretty well. Once it's on each end, it is pretty compact. Like, I'm pretty happy with this. But the whole movement, like, this is a big radius. It's a little bit too late to change my mind, so I'm just gonna work with it. All right, so next step is going to be the aesthetic. And I think the right sequence would be to beef up the arms. We need to make that thing look solid and strong. After that, maybe the elevator shaft. So the back, the bottom of the pan. And after that, we have to tackle the platform itself. And we'll have to kind of solve this issue of how do we get on and off the platform, because we have some pretty big gap. So we'll need some sort of ramp that comes down. I'm not sure yet if the ramp will be on the platform, maybe in small grid, or over here. Like on the top, I wouldn't mind having the ramp on the outside here. But at the bottom over here, I'm not sure. I'm gonna have to think about it. Anyway, all right, let me cook a bit. All right, engineers, we're back, and bad news. I lost. I got a bunch of footage. I got corrupted in my transfer from my second computer. Didn't double check, and yeah, so it's gone. So instead of having a big gap in the time lapse, I decided to let's do an update, see what's going on, see what's up, and then after that we'll resume the time lapse. So where I'm at right now in terms of the gantry, so the arms and the platform, it's pretty much done. I'm happy with it. I still need to do all the outside and of course all the smaller detail and the RAM that's gonna go on the platform. I do have a mag plate over here because it has a kick. When you reach the bottom, yeah, it just has a kick. So I decided why not use a mag plate here, and it's fully covered from below because we do have quite some thickness under, which is quite nice. I like it. These arms are beautiful. I love them. Tires are such an easy way to add detail, and you know, they look hydraulic, they look mechanical. I like it. And then of course we got the gears. You guys saw in the time lapse, I tried to make them work, and I may try again. You guys saw like 2 or 3 attempts, but I honestly had a good 8 or 9. They all kind of failed. The closest I got was like it would break 1 out of 15 times, which is too much. It cannot fail. But my idea basically will require me to redo this whole section here, the whole front here with the 2 gears. Basically what I'm thinking is if I bring this gear back where it's supposed to be, so they would interlock with each other, right? But instead of having this one like just free spinning and getting pushed around by the main gear, they would both be rotating on a rotor, but they would basically never touch each other, but they would still be interlocked, right? Like they should be. I think that's gonna be my best chance of making this work. Now they're spinning just because I was working on it and looking at them, but eventually these would be static and they would only turn when the elevator is actually turning. So I think I'm gonna redo the front. Now I just want to talk about the centerpiece because I think it's pretty cool. My idea behind this was like a copper coil, right? That generate like a magnetic field that turns the gears. And then we have a chain of gears that turn the elevator. And the electric coil and the gears would all be activated when the elevator is actually turning. But anyway, I'm gonna get back to it and then I'll see you guys after. I'm trying to figure out this gear, and I decided I will bring you guys along the troubleshooting. I'm trying to figure it out how to do it. So previously the way I had this the elevator set up is how to set velocity with maximum and a minimum limit, and I was just hitting the reverse to bring it up and down. But now for the second gear, I think instead I want to use the new set value and execute function that we have with the latest update, so we can send the elevator to a specific degree instead of just having a limit. This way I can also do the same with these gears. Otherwise, the only way to stop this gear would be like a timer block, and then I'll have to calculate like how much time it takes for the elevator to go up and down, and then, you know, stop this gear, I guess lock it or turn it off after a certain amount of time. So, you know, so I think the best would be to use this new function, and I decided to use my little office space that I had back here to set up some timer block. So what I'm going to be doing is set up I have to rewire the main elevator. So I removed the teeth on the gear, so you know, I avoid any kind of collision. All right, so those are my timer blocks. This is how I like to label my stuff, by the way. So I'll have like the main building at first. So this is the headquarters, and I have the project name, and then what it is, and then more specific where it is and what it does, right? So right now the elevator is up. We want to go down. So we're going to be using this timer block here. I'm going to set up action. I already tried and failed, so we'll have to redo it. So I want the road. So you can see here the example of the name. So headquarter left for elevator, and then rotor 1. So this is the first set of rotor. and then it's the right side. Rotate to angle is the function that we're looking for. And I got my notes here. We want to send this one to 360 at 3 velocity, and we want to go clockwise for this one. And then for rotor 2R, so this is the second set on the right side. Rotate to angle. We want to send this one to 0 actually at 3 velocity. And I think we want to send it counterclockwise. And I'm going to trigger it. Oops. There we go. Beautiful. I want to see where is it going to land. Oof. All right, beautiful. All right, so now the way up is going to be set up action. We want rotor right, and we want rotate to angle, and this one is going to be 128 at 3 speed, and it's going to be counterclockwise. Confirm, and then set number 2, rotate to angle. This is going to be 232, and we want 3 speed. And I set this one to counterclockwise, so now we're gonna go clockwise. So we are already down. There's nothing. We want to go up. Beautiful. Look at that. Wow, that's cool. All right, so now when it comes to the gear, we have to look and see like what way does it turn. I mean, I know what way it turns, but is it clockwise or counterclockwise depending on how the rotor is placed? We need this rotor here to turn clockwise. So set up action. We want the fake gear on the left side. The left one is at 7 degrees. So it would be 7 degrees plus 232, which is going to be 239. I'm pretty sure at 7 degrees it looked good. From 7 to 239 it should be a good angle where it's not going to hit anything. So at this point we want to go to 239, and we want to set it to 3 also, and we want to be I said counterclockwise. It looks like it should work, but it does stop spinning before. No. Oh, I think that's gonna work. Oh my god, that's so cool. Okay, I need to add the teeth back on it, but this looks very promising. All right, so the teeth are back on the gear. Where am I? Is it set? Okay. Okay, this is exciting. This works. Woof. All right, so we are up. So let's go down. Oh, beautiful. Look at that. Go up. Oh, that is perfect. Look at that. Almost like dead on perfect, but it is close enough for me that when you're out here, they look like they're touching. Right? Yeah. Now I have to do the same thing on the other side, and I'll have to recenter my copper coil. And yeah, all right, let's go. right, so I'm at the point where I need to think about how do we get on and off the platform itself. And this is probably the simplest design, which is just a rotor spinning a platform 180. This is probably the simplest design, but I don't think it's the coolest. It's not a really cool animation. We already have like the elevator kind of going into a circle. I don't want to have like two animation of circles, or I don't know if you know what I mean. The other design would obviously be like a drawbridge, or having like a wall on hinges that goes down. But I'm not a big fan of that. I don't think I'm gonna like having those massive wall just sticking out on both sides, right? The other option would be to have a track in the middle with piston that would push the platform against the ramp, against the platform, the elevator platform. And I think that's what I'm gonna try. Yeah, I think I'm gonna make a setup on this side, see how it looks. I also have to see, we may have different design upstairs and downstairs. Yeah, let me work on it. All right, guys, I have to share my excitement. Oh,
critical.
Oh, I died so many times during this project, just like ramming walls and object and stuff. That freaking post right there, I died so many times just hitting that thing. I've been working hard, and this thing is almost done. Something as simple as an elevator took like days of work to get it to this point, and it's almost done. You know, I have a few things here and there, but I think that's going to be it, and I'll come back later to do a few things. All the bridges are in place and everything is functional. I did rework all the timer block, and I did added a little bit of stuff in that room. I need to make a proper access to the office, but I was thinking maybe of using this fake door, and from here I could actually go to over here, right? And then we can use these stairs to get to this door, and from this door we could go somewhere around here, right? So it's a long path, but it's there. So I had to add a little bit more time block than I think you can probably do it with less, but because I didn't want to redo my whole sequence, I just added an extra timer block for each direction. Now that's the thing too, because I don't use like reverse, and the sequence is different if you go up or down. So yeah, so I have two set for going up, two set, one for going up, one for going down, and then this one down here, the 17 seconds, this is for like cosmetic stuff like the coils. And I also got some rotating lights over here. Look at that zoom. I also wrote down the sequence. It was less confusing for me to just write it down. And I know if I come back here in the future and I need to do some changes, the sequence is written down over here. All right, so let's close this. Let's give it a go. Something that I haven't told you guys is I also added custom sound for it. I took a bunch of sound effect online, which is really hard to find like proper sound effect for this thing. You won't find sound effect for gears that are that big. So it's like sounds of small gears, and I just crank the bass like at the max, and that's what it is. Before we trigger it, here is all the bridges on each side. Over here, and we have those are retracted right now. So what's gonna happen is I'm gonna trigger this. We're gonna have a 5-second where the bolt bridges are gonna retract, and then we're gonna start the descent, right? So let's do that. Oops. So 5 seconds. This is retracting. Then the custom sounds. Not bad. Brace for impact. There we go. And now those bridges are extracting. Bam. Now we're done. All right. Hey, beautiful. It's been a while. Yeah, detach, reverse. And yeah, that's pretty much it. All right, let's take you for a spin. Gotta charge it a little bit because it's at 8%. Being neglected a little bit. Go. The ARCIS company officially have a way up and down the pit. And man, this project has been a love and hate relationship. And I still have a major problem with it, which I haven't talked about. I already taken so much of your time, so I won't get into it now. But what I'll do is I'll make kind of a part 2, so it won't be a full episode. Talking about the problem and maybe the solution. And maybe we can start a conversation in the comments talking about what can I do about it. Fix it. But otherwise, thank you very much for watching. Have a blessed week, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.